CastleFall, The Age of the Magogs, I believe released in 2011. This one is kind of a hybrid tower defense game mixed in with a collectible card game, kind of influenced by both, but not quite either. You'll be battling these creatures called the Magogs, these one-eyed, really ugly red things. Battles will take place over various terrains such as deserts and forests, spanning for about 30 levels. You start the game with some basic unlock cards. Cards contain range units, stationary defense units, and various magic spells. Cards also have various attack types such as ice, which slows down opponents when hit and do extra damage to fire units. Between each battle you pick the cards you want to use. It's limited to 12 card choices, but the deck is infinite. It recycles the cards over and over, so you never run out of cards in your deck. So you and your opponent each have a castle with 100 hit points. You both can summon a maximum of 3 harvesters. Harvesters harvest crops, which gain you income to use cards. Each card has its own cost to use. So harvest the crops, get the income, play the card. The idea is to summon an army, attack your opponent, and storm his castle. Your units will skirmish with the opponent's army, and whoever comes out victorious will get to the opponent's castle and start reducing its hit points until it reaches 0. So it's a very simple and easy to pick up game, and it's actually quite fun to play. You can send small waves of troops, which are usually good for weakening and slowing down an advancing enemy army. Usually good for stalling till you get your defensive towers up. Or you can send a massive wave of troops at one time and try to overwhelm your opponent. Units, depending on their cost, have different strengths, hit points, and speed, so there's a lot to factor in if you're really into micro-strategy. Again, units have attack types like poison damage over time or ice to slow down opponents. So even with the game's simplicity, you get a bit of that customization for whatever type of playstyle you want, which I thought was actually kind of neat. Magic spells, although costly, are absolutely devastating in this game, even at the cheapest cost. You can knock enemy armies' hit points down next to nothing, instantly kill enemy units, or heal huge amounts of hit points of several of your troops at one time. But the most dangerous use for spells is harassing the opponent's harvesters. Killing these harvesters means no income. No income means no army. No army means defenseless. The thing is, the AI, although occasionally will cast spells on your harvesters, it rarely ever does it. This AI flaw actually gives you a huge advantage. So if you spam your spells on the AI's harvesters, you're almost assured of victory. Usually my castles wouldn't get any damage during the battle. So in this game you can kind of exploit the AI's stupidity. After each level you gain money and more cards get unlocked. However, the cards are unlocked in a certain order, which I really didn't like. I would have preferred the option to buy whatever card I liked if I had the money. It would have given me a better sense of customization for my decks. But I suppose this restricts you from getting the more powerful cards early. And once the Magog cards are available, this game goes from kinda easy to completely unbalanced. The Magog units are not only cheap, but they are insanely overpowered. You won't need to summon any other creatures. These things have like 5 times the hit points of all the other units. They just plow through the enemy. You send a group of these things, and the AI is absolutely helpless. I went from playing 5-minute to 15-minute battles to 2-minute battles. I timed it. I mean, suddenly this decent game just became an absolute easy joke. And I just didn't get it. I mean, how did no one notice how unbalanced this suddenly became? I mean, come on. So overall, this game is actually pretty fun. Well, for a while anyway. A great mix of a card game and a tower defense, flexible strategy styles, and a few boss battles to boot. But due to the poor AI and the overpowered Magog cards, it goes from an enjoyable, fun little game to inducing your eyes rolling later. It's just, oh, come on. I think as a concept this game is great, and it would be really nice to see this style of game in the future. But because of its balancing issues, the best I can say is, well, it was a good idea. So there you have it, CastleFall. Thanks for watching.